Alright, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, in today's lesson, we're gonna go into this, this whole Terrence Crawford, deal where, Terrence Crawford had, celebrated his birthday. Those of you out there that are, boxing fans, or, you guys just heard of it, just to kind of, fill you in real fast. Terrence Crawford is I believe he's a middleweight boxer. Okay, around there. All right, so he just beat Canelo, which is he's a so-called Mexican, but he's an Israelite, So yeah, he's a Jake, but he's from the north. Okay, so what happened is that Terrence Crawford had a shotgun point to his face, and it's just to show you that Esau is not playing around. He don't care about your status if you're famous, So yeah, I heard some of the brothers go into it already. Okay, yeah, I heard some of the brothers already go into it already, where there's going into yeah, Esau is he don't really care because what happened is that Terrence Crawford celebrated his birthday, which is off already. Number one, the Lord is not a respecter of persons. He don't care about so there's many things here. Number one, okay, the Lord don't care who you are. If you're not part of the elect, it don't matter if you're an Israelite and you have a Bible in your hand, okay, and you say and an Israelite, let's say he's a Jake in the world, and he says, oh yeah, I believe in God. Okay, but do you believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai? See, so I wanted to the Spirit's been on me, all day. I just got off work, and just been waiting to get this lesson in, okay, because the Spirit's been on me to I want to further expound on that, okay, because let's go into it more, let's go into it more in depth, all right, because what this Terrence Crawford deal is, there's many things that happen here, okay, there's many things that happen here. So what Terrence Crawford, all right, he had a shotgun point to his head by by an officer, a police officer, I believe who was an Edomite, and he pointed a shotgun to his face. All right, and Terrence Crawford, he, him and his bodyguards, were frightened, for their lives. See? So I'm gonna bring out the scripture, and then we'll go into the article. The book of James, chapter 2, verse 9. But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin, and are convinced of the law as transgressors. Right? Okay. So respect to persons. All right, this is very, very important. This is what, you Israelites out there, okay, gotta understand. All right, the Lord don't care who you are. Okay, the Lord don't care who you are. Okay, if you're messing up, okay, if you're messing up, okay, and just being a complete demon out here and a simpleton, the Lord will destroy you. Okay, this is something that these Israelites gotta understand. They, you guys take, the 2/3, of course, because the elect know. But these 2/3 think that the Most High is just someone to play around with, and his son Yahushai, that's just, it's just some light thing, and that, the people will understand it's all right. Okay, remember, it's not all right. All right, so the Lord he's a just power. Okay, he's a righteous power. So if you're doing wickedly, okay, and especially if you're not part of that elect, okay, if you're not part of that elect, you will be destroyed. Okay, it don't matter if like Terrence Crawford, like in the world, he's like a humble dude, I mean, he's probably like a good parent, this and that, all that jazz. But what you got to understand is that what you got to understand is that the Lord is coming down on these 2/3. So if you know that if you see what's happening right now with these 2/3, they're not getting the Lord's coming down on them, So what is happening? Let's go into this article with Terrence Crawford. Let's see if you can find it here. Okay, so right here, let me see here. Okay, so right here, Terrence Crawford was pulled over and held gunpoint by Omaha. Where to go? Yeah, the police held Terrence Crawford at gunpoint. At the same night, there was a victory parade in Omaha with the mayor giving him the key to the city. Okay, giving him the key of the city. Salaki, bear with me. The key to the city for beating Canelo. Okay, earlier this month. All right, so this is what happened here for those of you that heard about that situation. Okay, those of you that heard about that situation. All right, so this is what I want to go into. Major, because it doesn't matter if people think, oh yeah, he's a nice dude, or he's a humble guy, and hey, the Lord don't care about none of that. Okay, the Lord don't care about none of that. So these bodyguards of Terrence Crawford were like, yeah, man, the police officer didn't handle the situation properly. He's saying that he feared for his life, but that's the bodyguard, talking, You see, he's supposed to be the bodyguard of Terrence Crawford, and he's saying that he's afraid for his life. Okay, but remember, okay, there's nothing but death and destruction coming. Okay, war coming over here to America. You see, so while people are celebrating, and oh yeah, he's famous, and hey, he's a good guy. A good guy to who? Okay, to Jeff. A good guy to who? Steve. Okay, the Lord is he's very, very he's very, very serious. Okay, about he's only going to save his elect. Okay, the Lord's only going to save his elect. So this is something that you have to really consider. You know, this is something that you really have to consider because right here, this incident, you know, yeah, people, some people are saying, hey, the officers didn't, approach the situation right. Okay, all right, but what brothers were going into is that, showing you that Esau Edom's coming down on Jake. Okay, he don't give a damn who you are. If you're a professional boxer, okay, you got the keys to the city. You know what I'm saying? All right. Esau is going to show you Jake's out there his horns. Okay, what happened to Terrence Crawford? Okay, he had a shotgun point right to his face. Okay, but let's go further deep into that. Forget Esau. That's the Lord. Okay, remember, the Lord don't give a damn if you're famous. He don't give a damn if your community likes you. If you're not good in the sight of Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, remember, if you're not part of that elect, okay, this is a perfect prime example. Okay, either the Lord's gonna put you down with the angels, or He's gonna have Esau put you down. Okay, it's a very, very, important topic because this is it's proof, to show you, because the brothers talked about, which is beautiful, Esau coming, going into that, to show you that Esau don't give a damn who you are, he don't like to see our people, like progressing, doing well, you see, because it's his kingdom. But let's go further into depth. Let's go further into that. Okay, let's go further into depth. Okay, what's that? Okay, further into depth. Okay, it's not just the Lord. I mean, it's not just Esau. Okay, the Lord is bringing down the hammer on you 2/3. This is Zechariah chapter. Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Alright, so let's break this down. So it shall come to pass, which is coming to, it's coming to us right now. Okay, it's it's approaching this time. All right, and it shall come to pass, which is in these times right now, Jacob's trouble. All right, Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7 and Daniel chapter 12 verse 1. Okay, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, okay, said the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, so the whole earth, said the Lord. So this is coming from the Lord, you guys. All right, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So that's the 66.6% of Israelites, okay, who are not part of the elect. You see, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, and the third shall be left therein. So that 1/3 is consisting of the 144,000 and the 1/3. Okay, so it's a very very heavy topic, because it's not just Esau, but it was the brother out there in Las Vegas who does the Las Vegas sit downs, who I saw doing that video, which is a beautiful brother out there. He always his videos are very edifying, but and that was beautiful. But I just wanted to expound a little bit on that because it's not just Esau, because he's making a beautiful point. Esau is going to show you Israelites out there that he don't give a damn if you're famous, if you got the keys to Omaha City, Esau is going to put a gun to your face and tell you, hey, you're just a high-paid slave, right? Because Esau is going to show you guys who he is. You see? All right, but not only that. Okay, let's go further. The Lord is is showing you that it don't matter. You may think that, oh yeah, he may be, a cool guy. Yeah, a cool guy to who? Okay, in your eyes, to the community, but not to the Lord. Okay. All right. What do you think the Lord allowed to happen to Kobe? Okay, the Lord allowed that. See, it don't matter how much an Israelite is loved in this world, how much he's loved in this community. All right, the Lord will kill you. Okay, make no mistake, the Lord allowed that to go down to Kobe and his daughter. See, so the Lord don't give a damn if you can shoot a basketball. He don't give a damn if you're a champion in boxing. The Lord will kill you. Okay, so with that being said, you gotta know, okay, about Yahweh Shem Shai. Don't take this lightly. Like, oh, we'll be all right. I'm a good person. To who? In whose eyes? Your community, to your school, to Johnny. A good eye. You're good in who? In your guys' eyes, and your auntie's opinions. You see, it may sound harsh, like, hey, damn, dude, but hey, we're talking about the Lord here, because a lot of you mortals have been playing with the Lord, and thinking that it's just a game. Like, oh, everything's fun and games. You're about to see. Look what happened to Terrence Crawford. Okay, the Lord had that Edomite point a shotgun right to his head, just to show you clowns out there that the Lord, he's coming for you, Jakes. Okay, you 2/3, the Lord's about to lay you guys down. See, just to show you that. Remember, to you wacky tacky Christians, God's not all love. So it's a very very heavy thing that you got to know. You gotta know. You guys to know. Because a lot of people think that, oh yeah, I'm doing fine, and God will understand. Oh, He'll understand, all right. Okay, He'll understand that you gotta be destroyed. So you have to fully, you gotta really, come into this thing and be sincere. You have to really, repent and believe, not just I believe in the Lord, and just be like a weekend Israelite. You know what I'm saying? All right, this has to, you have to really, turn back to Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, you have to really, fight the good fight of faith. You see? Verse 9, Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire. Okay, so this is the 1/3. Okay, this is the 1/3. So, the 144,000 and the 1/3, because you're gonna be tried through the fire. You're gonna go through a lot of tests. Okay, you're gonna go through many tests. All right, but that's from the Lord, just to test you, to see. Okay, let me see how this person acts. Let's see. Let's say, because the Lord might take everything from you. Then what? Are you still gonna push the word? Are you still gonna, carry yourself a certain way? Are you, what I'm saying? Are you still gonna do, your thing? You see? And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them, as silver is refined. Right? Because the elect are only gonna get better and better, in time. You see? And will try them as gold is tried. Right? Okay? As gold is tried. So how is gold tried? Through the fire. How is gold and silver refined? How do those jewelers refine gold and silver? By putting it in that fire. You see? Okay? They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. See? I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. So the Lord is only coming for the elect. Okay, He's not coming for the 2/3. Oh, let's get that in St. Matthew. Let's go to St. Matthew real fast. Salakia, just trying to get this going here. Let me see here. St. Matthew chapter 24, and just scroll down. All right, to the 30th verse. St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 30 and 31, okay? And then shall appear the sign of Son of Man in heaven. So Yahweh Shai is going to appear, our Lord and Savior, okay, who the world stubbornly calls Jesus Christ. You know, and what happened to the Christians to your guys' rapture? All right, you see, a lot of you phonies, a lot of you false preachers and pastors, a lot of you false churches are being exposed for liars. You see, all right, because the information that you guys are bringing out is not on point. See, you know, remember the prophets may not be liked by the community, okay, and it's definitely not going to be liked by this world, but their information that the prophets are bringing out is 100. You see, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all, so the sign of man in heaven. So Yahweh Shai is going to show up in those in the spaceships, okay, the so-called UFOs, the so-called UAPs, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Right. So those of you that are not part of the hopeful elect, which is a small number compared to the masses, yeah, you're being prepared for to be put to death. You know, and the Lord's not playing with you know, he's gonna start his house first. So he's not playing with you Israelites, you know. This is what the Lord you know, he's very upset right now. It's something that you guys can't take lightly, you know. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven. And they shall see the Son of Man, okay, Yahweh Shai coming in the clouds of heaven, which is the so-called spaceships, because the Lord is going to come in through this atmosphere, okay, through something called a wormhole, okay, a portal, you see? And they shall see the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai, coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Right, so Yahweh Shai is going to arrive, all right? Remember, after the ark, this is very important, okay? Because like you see right now, the people are, you know, the false churches and false preachers are misguiding people, saying look out for the rapture and all this, you know, bull crap, okay? The Yahweh Shai, okay, remember, there's two things that have to happen before Yahweh. There's a couple prophecies, you know, like martial law, famine, but the two major things that you Israelites out there gotta watch out for. All right, but you know, we're mainly talking to the elect, because the 2/3, you know, you guys are gonna reject it, but hey, but we're telling you too, so that way you have no excuse, you know, because we're getting the blood off our hands, because we're telling you what it is, whether you like it, you know, scoff at us, laugh at us, we're gonna tell you what it is. We're always gonna keep this message straight, no matter what, okay? Because we're always gonna give you the correct message. You know, we don't care what you think about us. You know, remember, we're gonna keep giving you that information solid. You know, no matter what, because that's the prophet's job. You know, we're gonna keep it 100. It don't matter. You know, if we're on our deathbeds, it don't matter if we lose our jobs, if we lose our house, if we lose our families. We're gonna keep telling you this 100 to you know, Lord willing, until the end. So that is our you know, that's the prophet's job, okay, to tell you what it is. It don't matter the circumstance, it don't matter the situation, you know. We're gonna keep feeding the sheep, you know, because that is the prophet's job, to give you the information out here, whether you be for here or whether you be for there, okay. This is why the Lord told Ezekiel, go tell them, you know. Yeah, go tell him. He goes, I know they're hard-headed. I know they're not going to listen, because Israel's stubborn. He goes, I know they're not going to listen. He goes, but go tell them. He goes, you know, he's like, hey, they're not going to listen to you because they don't even listen to me. But he goes, but go tell them anyways. You know, he goes, hey, go tell them. You know, go tell them. You know, that way, you know, there's no excuse. You know, yeah. So the two major things that we're waiting on is the RFID chip to be made mandatory, and in World War III to be in full bloom, which is right here, right around the corner. So that's when, you'll know for sure that, Yahushua and his arrival, okay? Because all this, fake stuff that they may plan with the rapture and, oh man, like the Project Bluebeam and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because they are gonna have some deception out here, the left hand side, because the Lord did give them, power on the left hand side, but remember, it's not greater than the right hand side. So they are gonna deceive the masses, but they're not gonna deceive the elect, so they are coming with some deception. Remember that. But this is why you have to stay occupied in these prophecies and remember what the Lord said. Don't just do what you feel is right. Because if you go with what you feel is right, then you're gonna go off. Okay, all right. Lean not unto thy own understanding. Proverbs. Okay, all right. Remember that. Lean not unto thy own understanding. Remember the Lord's words. Remember. Okay, it don't matter. And remember, sometimes you guys out there gotta cool your jets, because you can't get too emotional out there. You can't get too heated. You can't get caught in your emotions where you're like, damn, where you're like, man, you just want to kind of do your own thing because you're acting out of emotion. Like, damn, man, So you have to get a hold of yourself and remember the scriptures, okay? You can't just do like, oh, well, you know what? Oh, I'm getting impatient. I'm just going to go do my own thing. Remember, you're not going to make it, Relax, mijo. Relax, mijo, because you're not going to make it, because we've already saw in the past that, look at Jake trying to be a Muslim. Look at the Black Panthers. Okay, all that movement, you know what I'm saying? That's going to, did that work in the past or did it fail? You know what I'm saying? Did that work in the past or did it fail? Okay, it all failed. All right, because they were trying to, they were trying to come out of, these curses, this oppression their own way by just, let's stand together and, let's come up against the so-called white man. You're not going to win that battle. Remember, the Lord's going to raise up his enemies on his own time. Remember that. Okay, the Lord is going to destroy our enemies. Okay, all right, and on his time. You see? Verse 31. And he shall send his angels. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. The angels. Okay. So he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet. Okay. So who's in those ships? Okay. The angels with the great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together who? His elect. It's not the whole world. Okay? From the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. You see? So what that brings, comfort. Because who's in those so-called spaceships? The so-called UFOs, okay? That the United States military and, this world they can't grasp, okay? Because Iran tried to shoot at them, okay? Different militaries around the world try to shoot at them. America was recent, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just to show you out there that, these powers, these militaries around the world, they got no power over the Lord and the angels. You see? Okay? verse 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. You see? So with that, okay, that's it on today's lesson. And remember out there, Akimakwa, okay, the Lord's only coming back for his elect. So the 2/3 are gonna do what? Okay, they're gonna perish. All right. So remember, the Lord does not care if you're like a good guy in the community's eyes. Okay, He don't care if you're famous. Okay, the Lord don't care if you can dunk a basketball. Okay, the Lord don't care about that. All right, what the Lord truly it cares about is his elect. Okay, he only cares about his elect. So let's go to, let me see. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. Okay, and shall be faithful in love. Okay, and faithful in love, and shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his elect, and he hath care for his elect. Right, because if you are part of the Lord's elect, the Lord is going to sustain you. He's gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna help you. But if you're if you're not part of his elect, okay, look at the what's that? Terrence Crawford. Look at his look at how they were freaking out. The bodyguard said that he was afraid for his life. All right. So what that is just that because they have no understanding of what's about to partake out here. All right. So you see how one moment they thought, oh yeah, we're famous and we got the keys to the city. All right. The Lord don't care about none of that. All right. If you're not part of the hopeful elect, okay, the Lord will kill you. Okay, we gotta go raw today. He will take you out. It's a very, very important thing. He will take you out. He will take you out. Make no mistake. You see? All right. So, with that, that should be a prime example to show you that it don't matter your status. It doesn't matter what your neighbor thinks. What your community thinks. It doesn't matter if you're the best boxer out there. It doesn't matter if you can dribble a basketball, if you can throw a football. Okay, the Lord don't care about none of that. Okay, if you're not part of the elect, remember, because the world's gonna find out that the Lord don't care about the community. Okay, He don't care about what your neighbor thinks about you. He don't care about what the people think about you. Okay, remember, what does the Lord think about you? All right, so you gotta really take this into consideration and to see exactly what's going on out there. You see? Okay, so with that, keep the faith, keep your eyes peeled, and remember, the Lord is not a respecter of persons. Okay, He is not a respecter of persons. To show you, you think the Lord is gonna take it light on Terrence Crawford because he's an Israelite and he's a boxer, and what? Oh, he's a humble guy. The Lord don't care about that. If he hasn't repented to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he's nobody. Okay, he's nobody. He's nobody. All right. So with that, keep the faith on your feet, soldier, and remember, stay in these scriptures. These scriptures are gonna comfort you in the times that we're approaching. Get it inside you, man. Uh, soak up these scriptures like a sponge. All right. So the more that you learn, okay, the more that you learn, the more that you the more that you learn, the more that you are aware of what's going on. Okay, the more notes you take, the more the more the more you know, the more you be comforted. Like, look at the book of Eli. What happened to the book of Eli? Okay, after after that that, what is it, the remember that bad guy, the book of Eli, he took he took the Bible from him, and he's like, yeah, I took his Bible, remember? And that didn't matter, because Denzel Washington in the book of Eli, what happened to him? Okay, he had the word in him. Remember that? So it didn't even matter. And then the bad guy in that movie, the book of Eli, he was even like he couldn't believe that that guy was that the you know the that Denzel Washington, his character Eli, that he was blind. See, he's like, oh, he goes, no way, because he you walk by faith, not by sight. Remember that. Okay, so for those of you out there, the more you know, okay, the more you're gonna be better off. It's just the way it is. Okay, the more you're gonna be comforted. You see, because remember, having that strong foundation. Okay, having that that foundation, your faith. Okay, it's going to really help you. It's only going to help you. Okay, because remember, stop looking at the person next to you. How are you doing? Okay, how are you doing with the Lord? Are you in good hands with the Lord? If the Lord were to come back, would you have a good conscience to be like, yeah, I did everything I could, like the Apostle Paul, or would you be like, damn, I should have did this, I should have did that? See? So remember, you want to put on for the Lord and for the elect. You don't want to have that conscience like, oh damn, like, oh man, yeah, I didn't I didn't do as much, I should have did more. Damn. You don't want that. Okay? You don't want that. We're talking about our Creator here. So with that, that's it on today's lesson. Lord willing, this lesson edified you, and was a faith booster to the hopeful elect out there. To show you that the Lord's not playing. That actually that put a smile to my face. When when I heard that happened to Terrence Crawford. It's not so much that I don't like the guy, because he's an Israelite, and he is, a humble dude in this world. But the thing is that I never heard him call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, So remember, the Lord that's just because it's the Lord showing out, I'm praising the Lord because the Lord is showing this world that he don't give a damn who you are. Okay, so yeah, in a sense, in a worldly sense, he's all right. Yeah, because he's a good boxer. He's generally a humble guy. But when it comes to the truth, to salvation, if he don't repent to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, then the Lord don't care about him. See, so that's the Lord just showing you, hey, man, yeah, you're into boxing, all that, this and that, but are you calling on my name? Okay, yeah, you're saying thank God, but you're not saying, I haven't heard him say Yahweh or Yahushai. Remember, those names are very important. It's not just, I believe in God, you know? So with that, keep the faith on your feet, soldier. Shalom.